The one thing that happens to girls, transforming from girlhood into a young woman's body, especially today in the 21st century, you are catapulted into this culture of sexual objectification. And so suddenly there's all these images about what's most important about you is how you look, not what you do. What we have the most control over is how we feel about ourselves and whether we're going to buy into all these ideas around us, or am I going to try to find ideas that make me feel at peace with myself, rather I've got to fix something.
I have always considered myself to be beautiful, but originally I always focused on physical beauty because that's what society focuses on. And then when I got pregnant and all that, to me, I didn't look physically beautiful anymore to society's standards.
I think I've always considered myself to be a beautiful person internally. I've always known I've had a good heart, but on the outside I've always had the insecurities, even when I was a size 6.
It's really a false notion that it's what we look like and our beauty is more important than who we are. So we separated that.
I have not always considered myself to be beautiful. I married very young, had kids very young, and he was physically and mentally abusive, and nothing I could do was right. I was never good enough, never pretty enough. After getting out of that, that's when I began to realize that I am a beautiful person inside and out.
My abuser, he would always tell me that no one else would want me. He would really try to work when it comes to my emotions. It was mainly at the beginning stages. It was a lot of mental and emotional abuse. But then it did start to get physical. He just really tried to beat my self-confidence down to where I felt like I couldn't be my own person.
Multi-billion-dollar advertising industry wants us to feel bad about our bodies, so we spend money so that we feed the economy. That's huge. We can't underestimate that impact.
I mean, there's so much that we internalize when it comes to media and advertisements and music videos and everything. I think it's just a collective internalization of all those things.
Even as women, we look at other women and, we judge each other. We all, I don't know where it started, but something has ingrained in us that we have to look a certain way.
It's still the case today. You're never talking to a man about how he's going to work out family and career.
I was trying to separate my lives of, I have to be this workout guru or I have to be a mom now, and just bringing it all together helped me feel confident and like I was doing everything I was supposed to be doing. I want her to grow up just being confident in whatever she ends up being.
Just be a good person, help others, be strong, be a role model, leader. That's what I'm striving to be, and I feel like I'm teaching that to my daughter, and I have seen some changes in her.
Really, what's important is our authentic relationships with people.
Now that I can look back on it, I was pretty much just in a state of just going through the motions, and I never dealt with the abuse until I started Women and Gender Studies classes. And through that community of support and education that I received is when I started to build up my confidence slowly through that and friendships that I've made.
Well, I guess maybe having my granddaughter would probably be that defining moment. I wanted her to look up to me and be proud of me. I searched long and found myself. I've grown so much as a woman.
I had to rechange my thoughts about myself and stop focusing so much on what other people thought. Because I would get comments from in-laws like, oh, you've gained so much weight, or you haven't lost that weight yet, type of thing. And so I would let that affect me really hard. And so I'd go on, like, I wouldn't say extreme diets, but they were extreme for me because pre-baby I wouldn't do that kind of stuff.
What we do is we go to food, we go to, substances that numb us out, and we say, I got to deal with this. I mean, and when we're doing that, we're disconnecting ourselves from our bodies.
I guess, honestly, it's just getting over the abuse, realizing it's not my fault, and just learning to love myself. I just feel more complete.
You have to find what you find beautiful about yourself beyond the physical. And then once you've gone beyond that, find things that you find physically beautiful about yourself, And it's not comparing. It's not like, oh, I have better hair than you do or something like that. It's, I wake up in the morning and I love my eyes.
Keep your head up and keep moving. Just be strong. Find what makes you strong.
Find a way to nourish who you are in the inside, the person you're not protecting the world from, to know that part of yourself, and find friends and people who honor that part of you, because that's where your strength is going to come from. Because through that, I think we can transform the culture, but we have to know ourselves and honor ourselves first.